Now let's discuss how to debug a program. First, open up the script. For example, mail.m. We mentioned earlier there's an error or bug in this script, and we're going to find it out. Okay, so before we start, we need to do a few things. On the top, this is the Debug Tool, and you will see Run button here, so that when you hit Run, it will run the script. You will see here is breakpoints. This is where you stop the code. So this is how you start to debug the program. First of all, you need to set at least one breakpoint. To set up a breakpoint, it is very easy. For example, if you want to set up a breakpoint at this statement, you just need to click here, and there will be a red dot. This means that when the program executes to this line, it will pause, and this line will not be executed. So once we set up the breaking point, then we can hit the Run button. And the program runs as usual. So we will enter 24.7 right over here. And if we hit Enter, you will see a green arrow here, which means that the next statement to be executed is this statement. And then you can check the values of variables. There's two ways to do it. One way is to go to the workspace and find out if this is the right value over here. And now you can see it's the correct value. Or you can, in the command window, just type in the variable name, and you should be able to tell you the value. The next is to run the program step by step. Here you will see the tools changed, and you will see different buttons. For example, this is called step, which means to execute the statement line by line. So if I do click this, you will see it actually execute one line. And this is that it tried to compare to 100, and since it's less than 100, so it will skip this statement and go to the else statement. And over here, there will be step in, step out. This will be something, I would say it's related to the debugging of user-defined functions. And we'll talk about those features later when we learn how to write functions. And over here, this is continue button, meaning you're not going to do step by step, just keep running. And once you hit that, the code will start run until you hit the next breakpoint. Okay, so let's see how it goes if we step again. And of course, it tried to compare to the value 2 in this statement. If it is less than 2, it will go to this statement. Otherwise, it will go to the else. So let's see. Yes, that's correct. And now you'll see the weight is actually greater than 2. Supposedly, it should enter this statement. So I will do a step again. You'll see that the next statement will be here. And here, when we look at this statement, if we run it, and then if you try to check the value of rate, it will give me the wrong value. So obviously, this equation is not correct. Why it's not correct? And because it says that if any fraction of a pound is considered a 1 pound. So in this case, it's not considered a fraction of the pound as 1 pound. For example, I entered the 24.7. So actually, it considers the weight is 22.7. And if we times 5 and plus 15, and you will see that's the answer. So in other words, if we try to get the correct answer, we have to make 24.7 as 25, right? So how to make that? Well, there is a function for it. It's called ceiling. Obviously, this is not, I think it should be sealed. That's the correct function. All right, at this point, we know the error actually it's here. It's because we didn't consider the fraction of a pound as a whole pound. All right, so we found the error, and the next is that we can just change the code. So before you change the code, you should always hit this button called Quit Debugging. So I will add a seal function. Okay, next we'll try to debug again to see if we correct the problem. Now, instead of I set a breaking point here, I will remove it and make sure I have saved the new code, and then I will create a breaking point here because that's the place we have made the change, and we just need to figure out if the change is correct. So I hit the run and enter the 24.7, and the code should stop here. So I say 24.7. All right, it stopped here. Then I will do one step, and then I will check the rate. And now you will see here the rate will be 130. And another way to check the rate, I think if you hover the cursor above this rate, it will tell you the value, so which is the correct value. All right, so this is how to debug and to find out the so-called logical errors. And you can certainly hit the continue button to finish the script, and then this will be the output. All right, now I'm going to just show you another feature. It's called the run to the cursor. So I will set up breaking point here and run it. So it paused here without running this this function. And what I'm going to do is move all the way down here and set the cursor here. And now you will hit this run to the cursor button. And then you enter 24.7, hit enter. You see, it will pause at this statement. This is the function of this tool, run to the cursor. And we will hit continue again to finish the program. So this is debug. And this is very important tool. And if you finish your code and you run the script and found it is not correct, the output is not correct, you should use this tool to debug.